Buckle up. This is Musicians and Beyond, where we bring you the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. We had an incredible guest last episode. It was Erin Bonney. She's a singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. She's an instructor at Berklee College of Music. A lot of fun, very great vibe. She brought in some great stories, good storyteller. So if you haven't seen it or heard it, go back to our last episode, please, of Musicians and Beyond, and check out Erin Bonney. You won't be disappointed. And there's some things she gets into that you're really going to be blown away about. So it's a great episode to check out. And today is going to be an incredible episode. I met this guy a couple of months ago at Sea Coast Idol, and he was numero uno, number one. It's Tyler Levs. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, you've done a lot since the Sea Coast Idol.
Yeah, yes, I have.
Yeah,
Been all over the place.
Was that kind of a boost in your career?
I would say so. Yeah, it's been just fun getting some of the connections and getting to meet some fellow musicians, singer songwriters. The final was fantastic. Eloise and Preston were are fantastic musicians. Big shout out to those two, and as well to everybody else in the competition. Like, it was just a lot of fun. And so since I've had a couple opportunities with Magic 106.7, there's supposed to be a video thing happening at some point as well. We'll figure out that detail, and obviously winning a little money helps. Always helpful. In the
it was
career.
more than a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's $1,500. You can't complain with that.
That was awesome for doing what you like to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there was a couple of hundred entries in that contest. Mm-hmm. And Francois had to go through every single one by one.
Yeah.
And he knocked it down to 15.
That's crazy.
You were one of the 15.
Yeah.
When you started the competition, did you have any inkling when you saw how talented these other people were? Did you have any inkling that you might be the numero uno?
Not really, honestly. Like, I just had no clue where it was going to go. I know I've done a couple of these things in the past, and at some point, everybody's so talented, it becomes, somebody's opinion on who's the best at what. So, I mean, I would obviously say that even though I won the competition, on any other given night, who knows? Like, it could have been 3 different people there. I said that in the semifinals, like, it was, top 6. 3 people move on, 3 people go home. And, when they announced us 3, I kind of just looked at the other 3 and went, it could have been you guys too, and I wouldn't have thought any different,
Right.
Like, it was definitely a fun competition, but a lot of good competition as well.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's amazing how much good talent is around us.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the episode, the contest that you were talking about, when 6 went to 3, I was one of those judges.
Yes, you were, yeah.
And let me tell you, it's not easy.
No.
Talk about pressure.
Right.
I mean, I just wanted to say all 6 of them go on.
Yeah.
They were just so good. So you really had to find out. And then you're talking to the different judges, and they like one thing, and I might like another. So there is a lot of opinion in it.
Exactly.
And because they weren't number one doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful.
Exactly. I mean,
because they really are, Yeah. Preston was one of our guests a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
And he's down in Nashville now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chasing his dreams.
That's
we
awesome.
wish him the best.
Yeah, I know he's going to do great things. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Johnny Dupes.
Yeah.
He was in here.
Yeah.
Also.
Great guy.
And I'll tell you, talk about a supporter.
Yeah.
So he's incredible singer-songwriter himself.
Yeah.
And didn't make it as far as the others.
Right.
He was there every single week.
He was, yeah.
Supporting everyone.
Yeah,
and
I started talking to him on Instagram and stuff. He's really kind, but also just amazingly talented. Like, he's a great dude.
Yeah, and as are you.
Oh, thank you.
So the winner of this competition that we're talking about, the Sea Coast Idol, which any musicians that are out there, check it out. It will be about this time next year.
Yep.
In great prizes. So not only there was a cash prize and getting to meet everybody, there was a lot of celebrities in and out of the crowd and on the board for judges. What else comes out of that?
So obviously there's the cash prize. There's a video opportunity and some recording with PB&J, who I've known Jay for a little bit now. So that'll be a lot of fun when it does happen. There's a photo shoot as well. I think there's a potential to do a national anthem at the Red Sox at some point.
Yeah, I believe that's in the works.
And then Mike Caputo also invited all 3 finalists to go to I think it's St. Patrick's Day parade
Yeah,
that he has.
and do you know how many people are there?
A
About
lot.
1.5 million.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
that
That'll be fun.
is crazy.
Yeah, that'll be a really good time. So yeah, there's a lot of really good opportunities socially. Obviously, the financial part of it helps to anybody who's a starving artist, as they say.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth the time, especially for the connections as well. The people that show up, the people that put it on. It's great just to know that group and to be a part of something bigger. So
Yeah, it's a great group of people.
Yeah.
So now you are a full-time musician.
yeah, yep.
What does that mean?
Well, it means what you want it to mean, right? I've been doing this now since 2019 is when I officially went full time, and then COVID hit. I was doing a lot of stuff online. That's a whole story. So for me, it basically just meant, can I make as much money as I was at my full time job that I was in? And so within that first year, it started to kind of pick up. And so I continued doing what I was doing online. And then as COVID kind of ended and the world started to open back up, I went into more live gigging. But I still do some stuff online. I stream here and there on a website called Twitch. I also post that to YouTube as well. So the live stream will be up, and then it stays up for indefinitely afterwards. So you basically just see the interaction and stuff for the 3 hours that I may have been online, but it's posted as a YouTube video.
Nice.
So, yeah.
In Twitch alone, you have tens of thousands of hours under your belt.
Oh my
That's
gosh, yeah. So
crazy.
I think I'm almost at the 10,000 hour mark since 2017. So yeah, I put some time into that.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, but it's just for the fun and just for the love of music, And the thing to consider too is it's 10,000 hours on stream, but that doesn't count the countless hours I put off stream as well. I've written a lot of songs off stream, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you mainly in the New England area, or do you travel outside New England?
Yeah,
as
I'm
well?
mainly in New England. When I was living in New Hampshire, I was starting the streaming process. So I started to go outside of it a little bit when I was doing the live gigs. I mainly was in New Hampshire for about 2021, 2022. And then as I've done more gigs, I've had people show up and ask about, future opportunities. I do a lot in Maine, I do a lot in New Hampshire, a lot in Mass. And then I'm kind of going down towards like Connecticut and going out to Vermont at some point. And then the other big thing that happens every year is San Diego. Twitch has an event on the West Coast every year. They kind of stopped during COVID, but it's picked back up in recent years. So 2022, 23, I was in San Diego. Actually, sorry, 22 was in San Diego, 23 I was in Vegas, and then so last year was in San Diego. This year's in San Diego as well. Yeah. So I'll be playing out there a little bit.
So you're pretty much a one-stop shop. You do,
Yeah.
You'll play restaurants and bars, and
Yeah.
you'll do family parties.
Yeah.
You'll do weddings. You do anything.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you also have a band that's behind you?
So no, music for me was like a really personal experience when I started, and we're talking about picking up the guitar at 13. So I make this joke a lot of the time that I've been a closeted musician for a lot of my life. Like I didn't go to school for it. I just kind of did it at home, and it was a thing that a couple of my close friends knew that I did. My parents obviously knew, my family, because I was at home trying to play guitar. I went to college for 4 years at University of New England. It was a med bio program, but I was in year 2 when I kind of just said, this isn't for me. I don't really want to do this. I just want to, go get in the workforce and figure out what I want to do. So I remember sitting down with my dad, and my dad tells the story all the time because he's like, it was kind of a nightmare situation because I sit down with him at dinner and go, hey, I just want to let you know, I think I'm going to, stop doing, the schooling, and I kind of want to do something with music. And he was just kind of like, okay. What are your plans? It's like, I'm going to finish school. I'm going to go get a job after, and, I'll probably try and do some stuff on the side and see what happens. And so he kind of just, I didn't get the, the standard stereotypical experience of a parent saying, oh, no, that's a bad idea. Don't chase music thing. Yeah. He kind of just gave me the grace to say, I guess you're, smart enough to at least try, and you know when to put it down, when to stop if you have to. So after those 4 years of school, I went and got a full-time job, did that for a few years, and while I happened to find this whole online Twitch community and start doing some music, it just kind of turned into something bigger. And I would say too that the amount of time I've put into it has probably made me better, much better than I used to be. So it's not like I just woke up one day and said, I'm going to be a musician, and this is, where I am. It's been so many countless hours of just behind the scenes, in a bedroom alone playing music, or, just online playing to a camera. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth in that.
Cool. That's great that your family backs you. It's like Tom Brady says,
Yeah.
You're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Absolutely.
So, give it a shot and try it. And it seems like that you've kind of hit a turning point. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think I have. In the last few years, I can feel the difference of starting off some of those earlier gigs, even just how I feel internally, thinking about my performance and what I'm going to do when I show up. I used to have a set list. I used to think about it, night after night before a gig. If I knew how to gig on a Friday, I'd spend Monday through Thursday nervous, wake up Friday morning kind of, probably more nervous than I was the whole week, show up, set up all my stuff, and just sit in a corner and play, try and kind of focus inward, knowing that this is what I do. And it's finally gotten to a point now where I feel like I'm coming out of my shell a little more because I feel just more confident in who I am as a person and who I am as a musician, as an artist, as a singer-songwriter. So
Yeah, and as a younger person, did you always think that this is the way you wanted to go, or like when you were young, you wanted to be a fireman or a doctor?
So
whatever?
that's really funny you say that, because I didn't think, for lack of a better term, that this was going to be a shot in hell type of thing, because I loved music. I was a bedroom musician with no real experience, no practice, no real training, just kind of doing what I love to do. And I looked at it and kind of said, well, I play sports, and I'm doing decent in school. I think I have a better shot of trying to go play professional ice hockey than I do trying to be a musician. Because in my mind at 13, 14, 15, what does success look like? And so to me, it meant I need to make a lot of money. I need to be famous. I need to be this, that, and the other thing. And it just seemed so unattainable to me that I had better opportunities to try for something else, especially considering the fact that I was so new to an instrument. I didn't start singing probably until about 3 or 4 years after I started playing an instrument. So it was just to have somebody tell me, back then, hey, this is what you're going to do, I would have just laughed, because I wouldn't have thought it was a reasonable dream. So it's something that's definitely grown, and I feel like my idea of success has changed so much that I can say today, and I could say for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been successful as a musician.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to is,
Yeah.
so how has your thought process on what the meaning of success is? What is your meaning now?
At this point, for me, all success was trying to basically write music, perform music, make it my full-time career, in the sense of like I can pay my bills, and to hopefully make a difference in some way. Whether that's, and this is some of the funniest things too, because one is obviously to inspire. Like I love that. I love somebody seeing, a musician and saying, oh, I want to do that. I bet I could do that. In another alternative way, somebody saying, hey, that guy's not that good, I could do that, is another way to inspire somebody. It might be a little bit more malicious in intent at first, but as you get into it and you grow, I think you understand that music isn't necessarily a competition. Like you're not trying to look at another musician and say, I can play better than that, I can sing better than that. It's more internal. It's like, I can be better, I can do better, just than myself. As long as I practice and I grow, I will get to a point that I can look back on myself and say, I'm better than I was, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago.
Right.
So it's a very personal process if you let it be.
Yeah, and if someone is successful and a really good musician, it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
It doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you worse.
Exactly.
It's
hopefully it inspires you to be better.
Right.
That's the one thing. Like I like to watch a lot of different styles and listen to a lot of different styles of music, watch a lot of different artists, and kind of decide in that moment, like, what is it that is the appeal here? What makes me interested? What can I use off of this to be inspired to create something? So
cool. Yeah. Let's hear a song from you,
Okay.
Tyler Levs. Let's hear a song from you, and then I want to come back and kind of touch back on what you were just talking about on inspiration. I want to find out who inspires you to be such a good musician.
Cool. Thank
So
you.
Tyler Levs.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna do. This is the song I played first round of the competition. It's probably my most popular song, so weird way to start. But this one's called "Struck." I'm gonna go something like this. Summer nights, winter days, falling leaves, budding spring, talking bodies, quiet minds, endless dreams, but this limited time. I just don't get how people do it. Every time I see you, I think I'll lose it. You'd think by now that I'd be used to it. Here I am again, I'm cruising for bruising. I'm so struck by you. I keep on sending all these signals, hoping that they're going through, and I'm so stuck on you. But you treat me like a shoe, and only one of a few was said that me dumb, call me crazy. Just call me maybe. Please tell me you've been thinking about me lately too. Cause I sure as hell been thinking about you. Laid out on the line, just tell me what you wanna do. Maybe you just love the games. You don't care about the players. Well, then again, I think I saw you mouth. I'll see you later. I'm so struck by you. I keep on sending all these signals, hoping that they're going through, and I'm so stuck on you. But you treat me like a shoe, and only one of a few has said that you. I'm so struck by you. I'm so stuck on you. I'm so struck by you. Don't know, don't care what it is that I've been told. You've got in my heart tightly in a chokehold. Don't know, don't care what it is that I've been told. Please say you, but please tell me I've got your soul. Well, I'm so struck by you. I keep on setting all these signals, hoping that they're going through, and I'm so stuck on you. But you treat me like a shoe, and only one of a few said that you. I'm so struck by you. I'm so stuck on you. I'm so struck by you. Whew.
So good. That's Tyler Levs.
Thank you.
And you can find him on TikTok at Tyler Levs Music.
Yep.
And then you're on Facebook and Instagram under Tyler Levs. And that's Tyler
Yep.
Levs. Again, that's Tyler Levs. Tyler Levs. That was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
So we started talking before you were playing.
Yeah.
Who is a big inspiration to you?
Big inspiration.
I can hear a couple of different
Yeah.
musicians in you, but I can't really put my
Okay.
finger on it. Maybe a little Bruce Springsteen, a little.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that. So I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock. My dad was into a lot of different stuff. I would say like the standard classics of like AC/DC, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, that range. But he also listened to a lot of softer stuff as well. Like, and I didn't really think about it until I got a little older. There's a bit of like Jackson Browne. I just randomly started playing the song by Free, All Right Now, that type of stuff. So it's not quite as heavy, but then there's like Metallica and Megadeth and all that. So I kind of went on a route of being really influenced by metal. And fun fact, one of the first songs I ever learned on guitar was Beautiful Things by Marilyn Manson. It's a guitar riff that's very fun and not terribly complicated. So if you're looking for something easy to do, good place to start. So I kind of went down this rabbit hole of very, very heavy music. But as I had said earlier, the singing part didn't really come till later. So I'm 13, 14, 15, really, really invested in all this hard rock stuff.
Yeah.
And at the same time, my mom really listened to John Mayer. So one of the first albums I remember hearing all the way through was the album Room for Squares. It's one of his very, very first like commercial albums. And I loved the album. I thought it was fantastic. And it was so different than all of the stuff I was listening to at the time, because most stuff in that era is very rock band centric, 4 or 5 guys, drummer, bassist, guitar player, singer, and it's a whole collective. Well, as I said, music for me was really personal. I didn't have anybody to share it with. Nobody in my family is very musical. I didn't have very many friends that were really interested in music. So it became this very introspective, like, this is a space for me. So seeing a guy like John Mayer and going, oh, he's the main thing. He sits down with his guitar and he, sings his songs, and he's just one person. Like, maybe I could do something like that. So I did a lot of the stereotypical acoustic campfire songs for a while, of like Goo Goo Dolls stuff or Matchbox 20. There's a song by Snow Patrol called Chasing Cars. It was the first song I ever learned to sing and play all the way through.
Wow.
So it was a lot of like this very polarizing ideas of what music is. And then as I got older, they kind of intersected. So I kind of had all this very hardcore metal stuff with this singer-songwriter acoustic vibe. And as they slowly joined, I started to hit everything in between. So like I like pop music, I like rock music, but I also like country, blues, singer-songwriter. I went through a rap phase. Like I just really enjoy music.
A little bit of everything.
So I try to do a little bit of everything because in my theory, music, no matter what genre, is saying something and has a purpose. So if you can find the things that you enjoy and that influence you, you naturally put together this whole collection, this whole amalgamation of techniques and become your best version of a songwriter. So for me, it's all over the board now. I could definitely list a couple like favorites at this point. Like I do a bit of Ed Sheeran, I do a bit of Chris Stapleton. Taylor Swift stuff is great, very pop, but the singer-songwriter story is so authentic there. There's obviously classics. There's Fleetwood Mac stuff I still do. I do a little bit of James Taylor as well. Wow. So I play a lot of music.
Vast array.
Yeah, I like to just kind of get that scope, and I'm always looking for new stuff as well. So
as you're telling me this, I can practically see our producer Dane in the back smiling because he is loves the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's probably a great time to thank Maeve and Dane behind the curtains here
absolutely.
to,
Thanks, guys.
make you look good and make me sound good and all of that. So we really appreciate what they do here at WinCam
this camera rig
Studios.
is unbelievable. Thank you, guys. It's so cool.
So thanks. So you had said that a lot of your friends weren't into it.
Yeah.
Did you feel isolated as a kid because you weren't involved with like these cliques?
It was interesting because I would say, based on like the outside of where I grew up and what I was doing, it looked like I would be a jock or I would be a popular person. And the funny thing is, thinking about it, I may have been. I don't know. Because what I enjoyed, like I played sports. I played ice hockey. I played soccer. I played a little lacrosse until my high school didn't have it as a sport. So I pretty much took my spring times off. But my senior year, I was a captain of our soccer team. I was a captain of our hockey team. And I had a good little connection in some of these like jock circles, but I didn't really have that many close friends. Outside of this whole different world I was living, I was kind of nerdy. I was into some video game stuff. I was always into, some TV related stuff as well. And this whole group of friends that I chose weren't people I could really hang out with often. And then meanwhile, while all this is going on, music is sitting in my back pocket. The closest thing I ever had to playing with a band, I filled in as a bassist for one show and then just never really played with them again. It was terrifying because here I am playing an instrument I don't normally play. I practiced as much as I could to, get this whole thing down. And it just never really worked out. Like these guys had their own full-time bassist and I filled in for one show and they're like, okay, we're good. Like he's back. So it was like never really went any farther. So music was my safe space. It was my one area that like really felt like it was for me, and even trying to share it here and there. Like my sister played piano for a little bit. I taught my brother how to play drums for a little bit. And then I had a small group of friends that would occasionally pick up an instrument, and I realized it was different because they'd pick up an instrument and they'd play for a week, and try and get it down. And for me, it wouldn't stop. I'd go home and then I'd practice more, and I'd watch these YouTube videos of people playing and trying to emulate what they were doing, and it became, I would almost say, an obsession, but it would just come and go. Depending on what I had for time, it was something I could really focus and dive into. But when hockey picked up, or school was going through a really tough test period or something, it would be something that would backseat, but I'd always come back around to.
Right. So you play a lot of covers.
Yes.
But you also play a lot of originals.
Right.
You said you weren't physically taught how to play an instrument or write music. How does someone that has no teaching learn all this stuff? Because there's so much to it.
It all depends on how interested in something you are. I mean, to be fair, I technically have had. There was a CD that I had, and I still remember it. I think it was Mel Bay's guitar lessons. So it was a CD. So you could basically do it at your own pace. So it was a simple thing of here's how you hold a guitar. Here's the starting chords. And so I watched that for a little bit. And to be fair, That's why I hold my guitar like this, if anybody's ever wondering. It's a standard classical way to hold a guitar. And in Mel Bay's guitar book, he tells you, or the CD as well, he tells you the best way to hold it is to classical style. You put a block under one foot and you hold it on your leg, and it's supposed to be more ergonomically correct. So from watching this, I picked up a couple of little things, and then I would go and explore on my own and kind of just say, I don't want to learn just basic chords. I want to play a song. I want to basically learn what I want to learn instead of following this path and being bored out of my mind. So then my freshman year of high school, a similar thing happened where it was a guitar course through my school. So I would show up, for I think it was 60 minutes, 90 minutes a day, and they'd tell you, all right, here's how you read music, here's the basic chords. And I did the same thing, which I regret so much. I wish I would have stayed in it because it would have been another class during school where I could have played music. And there was just a period at the end where I had to perform in front of people. Like we had like a talent show at the end, basically. And it was like, all right, do what you want to do, pick a partner and you guys can play a thing. Terrified, absolutely hated it. We suffered through it. Like I suffered through it. We played Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day. And I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. I just want to play songs. I just want to learn stuff, and I want to go do it at home at my own time. Yeah. So I basically just went home, started practicing stuff, picking out some songs that I thoroughly enjoyed, started singing along while I played them, and tried writing some stuff here and there, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And it became all right, well, I'm the only person here, so if I want a singer, I have to learn to sing. So I started teaching myself that while I played chords and did, the whole...
So originally it was nerve-wracking for you. You had stage fright.
Oh, yeah. And I had it for many years.
How the hell do you get over that?
You do a lot of mind tricks, and you just do it. You have to basically get out there. It's called exposure therapy. Yeah. You get out there and you feel uncomfortable, and you do it over and over and over again until you feel less uncomfortable. So
yeah, believe it or not, I have stage fright.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I really do. And you can't tell because of here, but we have the ability to edit and cut, and you have these great people behind the curtains here and all that stuff. But anything formal in front of a group is a little difficult for me.
It seems to me too that we're in the same team of people tell us we look like we're comfortable. That's I get told that a lot. I'll tell people, I was really uncomfortable during this thing, and people say, "Oh no, you looked fine. You looked like you were very comfortable. You looked like you were at ease." And internally, no. If I could just like open up and show you what's happening on the inside, you'd be like, "Oh wow, that's not good," Right. So you seem very natural with it. So I'll give you that, especially because I'm seeing the unedited version of it too.
That's true.
So.
Awesome. Well, let's hear one more song from Tyler Levs, and then we'll chat some more. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is Tyler Levs.
Oh, girls like you are one in a billion. Oh, guys like me are a dime a dozen. But it don't stop me from thinking, stop me from wondering, stop me from thinking. Now I could see the whole scenario unravel in my head. You breathing in my ear while we both lying in my bed. And now you can get anyone you want, but you want me instead. Now can you see the whole scenario unravel in your head? Won't you call me? Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking, won't you call me? Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking. Now I don't wanna break your heart, I just wanna make you breakfast. Now I just wanna write you a love song and play it in my set list. But it don't stop you from thinking, stop you from wanting, stop you from thinking it, that I'm making eyes at you. But it's exactly what you know you want. Now I can see the whole scenario unravel in my head. Hey, you breathing in my ear while we're both lying in my bed. And now you can get anyone you want, but you want me instead. Now can you see the whole scenario unravel in your head? Won't you call me? Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking, won't you call me? Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking. Yeah. Oh. Now I can see the whole scenario unravel in my head. You breathing in my ear while we're both lying in my bed. And now you can get anyone you want, but you want me instead. Now can you see the whole scenario unravel in your head? Won't you call me? Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking, won't you call me? Yeah. Won't you call me? Mr. Wishful Thinking.
Wowzer. We are Musicians and Beyond, and that was Tyler Levs.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. That was great.
Of course.
That was great. So let's talk a little bit about this guitar.
Yeah.
It's a great sounding guitar, but it looks like it has some battle wounds and scars on it. Tell us
Absolutely.
about this guitar.
Yeah, so I got this right before I started doing online streaming. So I had an older guitar that I didn't really use a whole lot, and I'd known about this instrument for a bit, the Martin LX1E. Ed Sheeran used one kind of early on and then got his own signature. So I knew it had a good sound. There's a reason he chose it, didn't really know why. So I was like, all right, I'll go check them out. So size-wise, it's perfect. It fits in the passenger seat of a car. And so I knew I wanted something smaller just for traveling. On top of the fact, it's a budget instrument. This thing was probably about $450 back when I bought it, whereas newer Martins and the more full-size ones go, $600, $700, $800. So I didn't have a whole lot to spend, so I knew this was just the smarter economic way for me to go. Very efficient, anyway. So I tried out the Baby Taylor and the Baby Martin, this guy, and when I went into, it was like just a Guitar Center, plugged him into an amp. This, for some reason, had a more full sound through the amp. So I was like, this is the one I'm picking. I'm definitely going with this. So after a couple of years, I started doing the streaming stuff. I started getting into the looping as well. And ever since, I've gotten a lot of compliments on the sound of this instrument because of the pickup that's in it, which is unfortunate. You guys don't hear much of it, but when you plug this in, it sounds like a full-sized guitar. So I continued to use it, and now it's just my comfort instrument. Like the size of it, the shape of it, it's just the feel is right to me. So I've continued to use it for many, many years, even though I technically have a bunch of guitars now. I use a green one specifically. It's an Ibanez for my duo. I use... I have a classical style that I use fairly frequently as well. I just bought another one that's specific for a certain tuning. But this thing is just where I'm comfortable and what I enjoy. So I've used it all over the place. It's traveled with me from Missouri to Texas in the car. It's come with me to the beach. It smells a little funny now because I've beaten the heck out of it. And the looping stuff when I started, just as like a visual, was a lot of backbeat. So it was a lot of this. This is kind of slap style. So that's kind of this wear spot at the bottom. It's from basically hitting it. And so over time, the instrument started to wear out. It started to obviously look the way it did. And then I just kind of said, well, it's mine. Let's make it, something that means something more to me. And so I had friends and family just kind of do like either initials, signatures, something of the sort. So that's what's all over it.
Awesome.
It's all people that are important to me. So
That's great.
Yeah.
That is
so
great. It's a good piece of memorabilia for
Yeah,
you.
at this point, it's a signature thing. It's like if people are going to see me, you know that there's this little guitar with a little sticker and all the little signatures.
And every time you pick it up, it probably has a place right in your heart.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it travels really easy too. It's very efficient, and it just worked out really well. That it's the the thing that I became comfortable with for many reasons. So.
Awesome. You mentioned that you have a duo also.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, and who is the duo partner?
Yeah, so my duo partner is Joliet Four. She lives in Missouri, and we started working online through Twitch, the website that I've been streaming on, back in 2019. So we met through a mutual friend who was hosting a singing competition. And so we were both obviously involved in, I think it was like a semifinal situation or a final situation. Yeah, I was a finalist. And so it was a top 10. And so they go through one song, and my now duo partner shows up and does one of her own original songs. And by the end of the song, I'm sitting there just kind of going, holy, like this girl won, who's going to win second and third place? And so she did end up winning. But then she reached out to me afterwards through email and was like, hey, do you want to write some music together? I see that you're a singer-songwriter. And so my thought was like, this girl's way too good to be working with me, but I'll try. So I don't know what she sees, but she'll argue that it's potential and that things have just gone really well, and like she liked the voice and the songwriting style, so on and so forth. So we wrote our first song in 2019. It's called Caught Up. And we ended up, well, technically 2020 is when we actually started working on it. So we wrote one song, we wrote another one that she recommended, just kind of went back and forth on, and now it's a little fun duet style called Let's Begin. And then we had some other projects we were working on in the background, and so 2022 came around, and we really started seriously talking, like, what is this going to take? Like, what do we got to do if we want to make this a full-time duo? And so we kind of went back and forth and trying to figure out what the scene was going to look like. I was really just getting into, the live gigging. And from all the contacts I've made and, all the opportunities I've been getting, it turned into this idea of like, all right, here's our budget. Here's what we can do. Like, as long as we can pay for flights, we can try and start doing stuff in person and see where it takes us. And so 2023, we started our official band called Mutual with a 4, so it's MUTU4L, and we make the joke all the time. It's so you don't get, Liberty Mutual Insurance or mutual insurance. There's the two of them. There's a lot of things involved with the word mutual. So we kind of separated it and used, a moniker from Joliet 4 is her name. So kind of threw that in there. And since 2023, I've been getting her out to New England about once a month. And it's been basically hunt around, try and find at least one gig that's going to pay for a flight, and then try and do everything else around it. And so in terms of a business, it's worked out really well. Like
How
our
cool
partnerships,
is that?
yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been very inspiring because I get to work with somebody who inspires me a lot to do what I do. I would say she's probably one of the most influential people for music for me in the last 5 or so years, specifically because of how much she's pushed me to grow as an artist, as a singer, as a songwriter. So
Wow, that's crazy. That's like throwing a dart.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great. When you guys first met, was it instant gelling? Did you guys
Yeah, so weirdly enough, we met in 2019 specifically online. So I had seen what she looks like. She's seen what I look like. We hear each other. Obviously, we know what our sound is. But we didn't meet in person until San Diego in 2019. It was my first TwitchCon. So I flew out to San Diego and walked around a little convention center. She was involved in what they called StreamStar through Twitch, which basically was like a karaoke style game. People put up their song and tried to get into this competition where you got to perform at Twitch on our main stage, which it was in front of thousands of people. I don't know the actual number, so I don't want to be incorrect. But she absolutely killed that. She was fantastic at this event too. Didn't end up winning, but we have a lot of friends involved in it too. The person who did end up winning is another friend of ours as well. So it's hard to say, she should have won instead of her instead. It's all weird. But anyway, I met her in person at just outside, technically in the con, outside of the main stage, side stage for the bands that play at Twitch. And we just kind of stood around and we're like, hey, what songs do you know? Like, what do you want to play? Let's try, this song, that song. So we did about a half an hour's worth, and stuff just kind of clicked. Like, I would say that Joe is one of those singers who's got just a very innate ability to kind of wrap herself around other voices, so she can hear something and harmonize like that. And so she's very, very quick at hearing somebody and just inserting herself in the best like way to be harmonious instead of invasive. Some people will just try and sing over other people, or it kind of stomps around in an awkward way. It was instantly like I recognized her talent.
Did you guys play on stage at the con?
So no, not in 2019. It was literally like in a hallway, like outside in the con, but it was technically in the convention center itself.
Gotcha.
Just like a little side space. So there's a video of us online playing Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, and she's like basically banging on the door for a drum, and it sounded great, but a couple minutes later we're like, all right, I don't remember why we wanted to do it again. I think we were doing video or something. Yeah, that's what it was. We didn't have it on video the first time, and so we went to take the video of it, and at the end this guy comes out and he's like, hey, you shouldn't be banging on this door. You know how loud it is on the other side. So we're just kind of like, oh shoot, but just a funny little.
You were in the moment.
Yeah, is exactly it.
You were in the moment.
Exactly
That's great. I mean, I wish you luck with that. And,
yeah, thank you.
we're gonna post everything about
Appreciate
what
that.
you do. And
yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. So I had her here for August, and we've got a little week in September as well. So I think it's like 2 weeks. No, next week. Next week. It's coming up that fast.
So you're living the life.
Yeah.
You're chasing your dream, and you're
Absolutely.
making it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird like to hear the phrase "chasing your dream" because it feels like it's just happening. I show up to places, I play gigs, and another gig opportunity pops up, and I throw that on a calendar too. And I show up to another place at the right place, right time, and somebody sees me doing what I do, and it just kind of the rest is history. It just keeps rolling. So.
And do you do all the booking and everything yourself?
So no, not really. So the guys that I had met, it's called the New Hampshire Music Collective. They're in New Hampshire, and they do a lot of booking for New Hampshire, Mass, Maine. I don't think they have Rhode Island as well here and there. So I met those guys in 22. And from them, just getting out there, playing gigs in some of these circles, such as, Seacoast Idol type thing, I've met other booking people. I've met people who just happen to have their own bar and say, you want to come play here type thing. So it's everything in between. Whatever, the whole idea of being a musician and trying to go full time to me is do what you can to support yourself. A lot of it's not going to end up being playing music, a good amount of it is, but you think about my gigs, most of them are an hour away. It's a drive there, set up my stuff, play for 3 hours, but then it's drive back home. And when I do get home, it's organizing a calendar. It's making outreach and contacts to some of these gigs that I do myself. It's making contacts to some of the booking people that I have. It's writing music. And some of it's as weird as doing parody videos on YouTube with a couple of guys who hire me to sing. It's weird stuff, but it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. So for all the hours that you put in, the least amount of time is actually probably being on stage playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure that's the funnest part of it.
It is. It's definitely enjoyable, but I would tell anybody that I'm probably a singer-songwriter first. And that's just where I'm comfortable. That whole behind the scenes, there's something about writing a song, whether it's for yourself or collaborating with someone else, that just feels just new every time. It almost gets to this point where sitting down and writing another song, whether it's intentional or unintentional, you kind of start to think, can I still do this? And is it going to happen again? And suddenly, all right, there's a new song. There's a magic to it. It just happens. And it feels like I'm constantly chasing that. Is this going to happen again? And when it does, I'm pleasantly surprised. Awesome. So there's something to that opposed to, I like to perform. I put myself in the same space every time I perform. So I feel like I'm giving the best performance that I can. But to me, the performance part of it is always this is what I have to do. Like I need to get myself out there somewhere, somehow. I used to do it online from a computer, and it's definitely a safe space to do it, but I've learned to love the interaction with people as well. Seeing faces makes a big difference, which I didn't know at first. My duo partner, as I mentioned earlier, she actually has a very big background in the church world. So she's been doing live performance since she was little. Wow. So she's very used to the faces. So when we started streaming on Twitch, she was kind of talking to me about it. She's like, is it weird to you that you just have to like we just stream to a camera. There's no people and faces. And I was like, no, yeah, it's terrifying to be in front of people. Like this is what I do. This is what I love. Right. I remember going in 2019 to an open mic. There's probably 5 people in the room, and I was terrified. Sitting there thinking oh no, I'm gonna forget all my songs. I'm not gonna remember any of this. I'm gonna mess up all over the place. These people are gonna judge me. Or just to the point of I don't feel good. I feel so strange being in front of an audience here. Meanwhile, a year and a half later, I was on the front page of Twitch in front of 20,000 people.
Wow.
With, no care in the world. I'm like, I'm going to stumble all over myself, look like an idiot, but this is what I'm used to.
That's awesome.
So comfortable in that space,
Yeah, keep chasing it, man.
Yeah.
Keep chasing it.
Absolutely.
So on top of the social media that we talked about,
Yep.
you have a website,
Yep.
tylerlevs.com.
Yes, I do.
And you can find out where Tyler's going to be playing.
Yep.
You have a huge store that you can get everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fourth Wall.
Shirts and hats and
Yep.
slippers. I don't know. There was all kinds of
I had
like
socks and stuff.
socks. Yeah, there was all kinds of like obscure things. But
Yeah.
that's cool that you're doing that as well. And you can have links to some of your videos.
Yep.
And we've talked about it before. These musicians work really hard.
Of course.
So show them some love and download their music. You see them playing in a bar or a restaurant. Don't be afraid to reach in your pocket and throw a few bucks in there. Before we have Tyler go, I have to have him play one more song.
Oh, you got it.
So let's hear Tyler one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, musicians and beyond, Tyler Levs.
I hate the feeling. It gets hard to explain. Like I'm drowning in a puddle. If I stood, I'd end the suffering like an island. Think I'm shredded on by myself, but it's a vacation resort, and I don't know how to ask for help. But even with all these people around me, sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I get down. Even New York City sleeping in LA turns into a ghost town. Sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I hit the ground, and then I just keep going until I'm so deep I can't be found. Sometimes I get lonely, and I do it to myself. In a parking lot, surrounded by a sea of parking spaces, but the doors don't open for 3 more hours. It'll be filled with unfamiliar faces. Is anybody out there? Are you listening? Alone in my car, 'cause no one hears a thing. Sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I get down. Even New York City sleeping in LA turns into a ghost town. Sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I hit the ground, and then I just keep going until I'm so deep I can't be found. Sometimes I get lonely, and I do it to myself. Yes, I have friends, I have family, and I have people who say they love me. I'm not the richest, no, I ain't broke. Yes, I have friends, I have family, and I have people who say they love me. I'm not the richest, no, I ain't broke. At least not on the outside. At least not on the outside, oh. Sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I get down. Even New York City sleeping in LA turns into a ghost town. Sometimes I get lonely, sometimes I hit the ground, and then I'll just keep going until I'm so deep I can't be found. Sometimes I get lonely. Sometimes I get lonely, and I do it to myself.
Wow. Very well written song. For the viewers and listeners, please share this episode with your friends and family. Tremendous musician. We like to think that people come in here as an acquaintance and leave as a friend.
Absolutely.
This was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and being our friend.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I
Awesome.
appreciate that so much.
Thank you.